welcome to another Baka commentary video. In this video, since the Intel CS presentation was so boring and bland, I figured, hey, Intel, I'll help you out this time. I will do a dedicated video on Intel fucking product, some of the rumors I have, and some of the information I managed to gather around rumor mill, and I managed to gather around myself. So, with Intel, I can confirm that Intel 15 and 16 Gen is, well, in development, and I would like to talk about some of the features that are going to be on the 15 and 16 Gen. However, I think Intel is not going to call them Intel 15 and 16 Gen. They're going to call them Intel Core Ultra, Intel Core, Gen 2, and Gen 3. Why you wonder? Because right now, on their latest generation of Intel mobile CPU, they are calling the CPUs Core Gen 1, Core Ultra, Gen 1. And this is why I think they are going to call it this way. You're wondering, why is Intel gonna be taking the taking the hassle of rebranding their brand? What 15 and 16 Gen is? Intel seems to be like, yeah, we're gonna finally get rid of our old legacy designs, and we're gonna get rid of our old legacy way, and we're going to do a completely new revolutionary way, new modernized Intel. What is it better to represent this? They just called it Core, Ultra, and Core series. So, what the desktop 15 Gen is going to have is likely an MPU, just like the current Ultra Gen 1 laptop counterpart. It's going to get MPUs and SoC core in certain SKUs. Here are these two stuff I think I am very confident Core Ultra Gen 2 or 15 Gen is going to get. However, here's the bit of the rumor mill, and here's the stuff info I found that was about 15 Gen isn't really maybe. It's really not. Is it shaky? It is. 15 Gen or Core Ultra Gen 2 will not have hyper-threading. For those people that are unaware, for certain CPU, if you disable hyper-threading, can have small improvement in performance. However, as the kickback suggests, when you lose hyper-threading, you lose a lot of multitasking capability in certain apps. If for a reason you're running out of core and you turned up hyper-threading, it is bad. You're going to lose performance. So, the performance that you gain from turning off hyper-threading, you just literally lost it with disabling hyper-threading. So what I think Intel is gonna do to negate this, I think we all should know this. Intel's gonna keep using the P&E core system and this SoC core system. Intel is for 15th Gen and all Core series Core Ultra Gen 2 is going to have a new silicon scheduler in place of hyper-threading, where that scheduler will push the task that is meant for hyper-threaded cores in hyper-threading into E-cores. How this is going to be very much needed of a new design in the Intel silicon. As right now, all current Intel CPUs with P&E core architecture, the E-core is not equal to a P-core thread at all, as the E-cores have instructions that are not simply possible on the E-cores, like the AVX, AVX 512, and AVX doesn't seem to be functional for the E-core. So in order for this Intel 15 Gen of Core Ultra / Core 2 series to work, the E-cores need to support the same instruction set as the P-cores. This will enable Intel to have this style of P-core disable hyperthreading boosting really high and have really good IPC, and for the stuff that don't need really high IPC, really high clock speed, and can be multi-threaded across smaller efficient cores. This is where the E-cores come in, what I think is a very good concept. Yes, Intel, on paper, this is an excellent architecture, but you are going to need to execute. So Intel 15th Gen or Core Ultra Gen 2, Core Gen 2 is going to be really relying on execution of the new scheduler, and you're wondering, what does the SoC core do? SoC core ignore it as one. It's not going to be usable by program. The SoC core is there to be running just your operating system. So, if you are a multitasker who likes to have a lot of throwing software in the background while you're gaming or do whatever, SoC core is not gonna increase your performance in your main app and your multitasking. However, if you are a clean Windows user, I reckon SoC cores in the 15th Gen or the Core Ultra series will help you in your Windows feeling more responsive, which leads to perfect topic to Intel 16th Gen. Intel 16th Gen seems to be the deadline for killing hyperthreading and implementing the new scheduler. Intel internally, from what I can get from the rumor and from the stuff I can dig up myself, 16th Gen has absolutely no plan to support hyperthreading and is dead set be like, we have to have this new silicon scheduler on our CPU. No if, no but. If we can't implement it, Intel, we can't launch 16th Gen at all. We can't be like Intel 15th Gen where we just re-enable hyperthreading, lose some IPC, and lose some clock. No. Intel 16th Gen, from right now, really early stage, seems to be, yeah, we don't even design it for hyperthreading. And if we re-enable hyperthreading, this architecture is doomed. However, I have heard a few inkling of they are replacing it with like rentable unit, but from what I can dig and see from the rumor mill, this doesn't seem to be a thing for consumers. This seems to be a very enterprise thing where you, as a customer of an enterprise or a system integrator of like enterprises or HTPC, go to Intel or you go to your system integrators and be like, hey, we need the silicon with these specific instruction or features, and hence then get passed on to Intel. Be like, okay, we will have CPU chiplet with these instruction or features in for your CPUs, and oh yeah, we might manufacture them more so that we can get other manufacturers, but I've other people to use this stuff. Again, seems to be like a custom silicon CPU where you can add custom features off of an Intel menu list. I think this is potentially really good thing for the enterprise and the workstation side. For the consumer side, I do not see them bringing this, as well. Intel consumer really don't. The consumers don't really know what they want from this silicon, and for the consumers that do know what they want from the silicon, you're likely gonna be able to afford the HTPC or even the Xeons. Sorry, if you're an i9 user, you are still considered an end user, and you are not going to be able to access this rentable unit where you just pick features off of this Intel menu and just put it on your i9. Anyway, this, as hopefully this you can see that Intel, I have said in this video, Intel is going into multi-chiplet or tile, as Intel like to call them, and is completely officially killing off monolithic silicon, where one silicon die contains everything a CPU needs. And Intel's like, okay, we'll start splitting off features and cores and everything into its own chiplet, and we're just going to throw a bunch of chiplets together to make a multi-tile SoC now. And hence the new Intel rebranding of Core Series and Core Ultra Series. Hopefully this video was more interesting than the Intel CS presentation and more actually focused on some stuff that is consumer oriented with bit of trickling of enterprise features that might come to consumers. If you do like these videos where I just talk and record the video all in one go and I just basically talk into this mic, do smash the like and subscribe if you haven't, and if you want, share the video to expand the community, and I'll see you guys in the next video.